You're listening to the Really Very Crunchy podcast with your hosts, Emily
and Jason. We're back from
Guess Who's Back?
Our journey. Back again.
Journey.
Yeah. Oh, is that a Journey song?
I think that's Eminem.
Oh, okay. Cool. It's probably Backstreet Boys. So yeah, we call it a journey, not a vacation, because
it was something.
It was something.
There were vacation-y parts, and then there were journey parts.
You know what my favorite part of the vacation was? The month-long vacation? Coming back and our house being destroyed.
It wasn't quite destroyed.
Our HVAC leaked.
Just a major leak from the upstairs.
Through the upstairs floor to our downstairs ceiling to our downstairs floor, ruining everything in between and then some.
Yeah.
We have to get new floors, new ceilings, new floors again. But our HVAC's fine. Just a little clog in the pipes. That's what you get when you leave your house for a month and nobody notices a leak in your ceiling.
My hand-woven wool rug in the kitchen had a big water spot, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
And then we looked up and found where the water spot was coming from.
And then
we went upstairs and found.
It was just a trail of horridness all through the house.
The good news is we have homeowners insurance, and that's what this kind of thing is for. But the bad news is it's not like we get our whole kitchen renovated or anything like that. It's just...
we're not that cool.
No.
It's like, well, we'll replace this part of your floor.
Mm-hmm.
You might have a hole there forever. That's all insurance would pay for.
And of course, it's in the room upstairs that only has subfloor because
we haven't finished it.
Haven't finished that room out. And so, like, we're only going to get 4 feet of that room replaced through insurance coverage. Not like get the whole room fixed.
Not how you want to come home from a long journey that you didn't really like in the first place.
What?
I'm just kidding.
We loved it.
It was awesome.
It was so much fun. And it's really kind of weird because I've been suppressing this nomadic spirit within me for basically 7 years.
Same.
And then going on this trip sort of unleashed it again.
Unleashed it with a fury. We're like, how do we sell the house?
Mm-hmm.
What do we need to buy an RV? Or what do we need to do? What do we need to do? We got to keep going. We can't just stop.
Yeah.
Our HVAC just leaked through our whole house.
But I do think we have to realize we have to have a home base because we barely were able to create content on the road.
It wasn't good. But we were in a pop-up.
Mm-hmm.
Well, anyway. We didn't let the podcast go, that's for sure. Sorry for all the extra noises and subpar content.
You were sick for a big part of it. We all had our illnesses.
Yeah. We are so inspired that we didn't come up with a topic for this week.
That's not true. Somebody messaged me and said, could you please do a Q&A episode? I would love that. And so we were like, sure.
Did she ask a question specifically?
I'm not sure.
Oh, we should have checked that so we could answer her question. But today, boy, do we have questions. We asked, we answered, and you asked.
We asked you to ask, and you asked.
There you go. We got a lot of them, folks. I don't know how many of them we'll get through, but I picked some. You picked some. I don't know. Did you pick any?
I didn't pick any. You just picked them.
I just picked them. Okay. Well.
So I'm going in blind.
Yeah.
No preparation at all.
Completely. I'm gonna start us off with a softball.
Okay, let's hear it.
Does Jason really not like kombucha?
Yeah, Jason hates kombucha.
I don't like kombucha.
It's too
especially
vinegary.
Homemade kombucha with the SCOBY in it.
Oh,
and stuff.
yeah.
It's got a living
Jason's
creature.
Picky.
Well, no, I'm not.
A little bit.
I'm not picky. I just don't like living things in my drink.
You're a reformed picky person.
Yeah.
And so,
That's
like,
fine.
He's the kind of person that used to say, I don't like that, when he had never actually tried it.
Thank you for your impersonation of me.
As if you don't do me all the time.
I don't
even know how you.
Zordon!
But so like he still uses that excuse, and I think he could actually like homemade kombucha, but he just refuses to.
I don't like the store bought. Some of the store
you
bought
like
stuff's
store bought.
fine.
Yeah, you
As
do.
long as it tastes sugary.
No, you like that one that is like blueberry something. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I have no idea. I just see it at the store and I'm like, oh, that's good.
You didn't
it's
like
close
the shrub.
To a soda.
You weren't into the shrub either.
I don't
That's
remember.
sort of a fermented.
Yeah.
You add it to fizzy water.
Oh.
Remember?
Yeah. If it tastes like it was made in your kitchen, I don't want it. Kombucha.
That's rude.
There's my answer.
I'm gonna start making water kefir.
Ugh.
I said kefir because
kefir. I think I'm not into the crunchy liquids. The drinks and stuff. I'm all for organic food, all that kind of stuff.
No.
The liquids.
You like the electuary that I made?
I did like the electuary you made. I don't know what that word is, but I liked it.
That
tasted like Christmas.
An electuary is a paste of herbs or like medicine.
You're really selling it.
That is made to be palatable. So you mix herbs or something with honey. So what I did is it was a like herbal chai.
Mm-hmm.
And then
had a little bit of milk, right?
Yeah, I put it in just a like barely heated water. I didn't want to kill the benefits of the honey.
Yeah.
And then added milk, and it did. It was really yummy, and that was crunchy, Jason. Raw milk.
Okay, well, I like electuaries.
Okay.
We should make an electuary and sell it to people or give it away. Ooh, I don't know if I should ask that one. We'll go to this one. We're gonna start easy. We're going to start easy. Some of them get hard. Do you have any pets or animals?
Nope.
How do you feel about owning chickens?
My 4-year-old says we have a pet lizard. He lives on our porch. He's called Lizardy. He's a tiny little lizard. Adorable. And he runs around. He stays around. We see him.
Sometimes he has a tail. Sometimes he doesn't.
Yeah. We had a dog. She abandoned us to our parents. My parents.
Yeah. We've had her for 13 years, one of which she has lived with your parents. Well, 1.5. Mm-hmm. So the story behind that is we did leave her behind our third time when we moved to South Korea. And she formed a bond with your parents that she never let go of.
Mm-hmm.
And she prefers them over us and our loud children.
Mostly because of the children. She was totally cool with us. She loved us, but then
kids are a bit rowdy.
Once
she was getting old,
my parents moved in down the street. She saw that their house was quiet and peaceful and had no noise.
The moment that dog realized that your parents were down there for permanent, like for good, she took off. She did not. I mean, she has come and visited. She'll visit for like an hour on her own.
Sometimes, rarely. And
but
really,
that's her place.
The last couple days she's come up and visited, but it's only because my parents are dog sitting and she hates that other dog.
Yeah.
So she'll just wander up here. It's like we're second choice.
Yeah. Well, she likes us better than the rat dog that they watch. A lot of people.
Oh, and I didn't answer. I love chickens. The reason that we haven't gotten into other animals really is because we love to travel.
Thirst for travel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The more that you tie down, like the more you have at home that requires your attention, the more it ties you down.
Anytime Emily's like, I'm thinking about goats. I'm like, I'm thinking about, do you want to go anywhere next year? What about cows? No, we'll never leave.
I've never actually.
You wanted a
asked for
cow. You wanted a dairy
milk cow. Yeah, like who doesn't want that?
Still got to take care of it.
Yeah, I like the idea of it. I want my neighbor to get one and just give me the extra.
You go. And I don't want to be the person who asks their neighbor every couple of months, hey, can you watch our cow this weekend? She really needs to be milked every morning.
And every evening.
I'll pay you. But nobody even wants to be paid to do that if they don't need it. And number two, don't want to milk your dairy cow.
Yeah.
If somebody asked me to milk their cow for a week so they could go on a little trip to wherever. I'm like, huh, you chose the dairy cow.
Oh, I would be pumped about it. I'd be excited.
You would be, but I'd be like, no. That sounds so horrible.
That was definitely a horse. Were you saying no?
No. No.
I thought.
No. I would do it, I guess. Depends on how deep our relationship was. Which in my case would be next to nothing.
So,
except you. If you asked me to milk your dairy cow, I'd do it.
I don't even think you'd do it for me.
Yeah. If you were gone for a week,
you'd be like, you chose
sell
this.
The cow. How is dairy cow meat? Is it good? It's just like any other burger?
I couldn't tell you. I mean, like layer hens, they don't make the best.
Those are completely different animals.
I'm talking about chicken now. I'm saying if you eat a chicken that's been laying for a while, it's not going to be that yummy. They do make dual purpose birds, layers and meat birds. Yeah, I don't know how that goes. I don't know. I haven't looked into that.
We should figure that out.
And do the miniature cows taste just as good?
Is that where White Castle gets their burgers? From miniature cows? No?
I wouldn't know.
Crystal Burger? They just all get their...
Wait. Both of those have mini burgers?
Yeah.
Yeah. I do remember liking a Crystal Burger back in the day, a long time ago when I was a child.
Brought to you by the mini cows. Yep. You learn something new every day. I feel like we've covered this. So if we have and you've heard it, just skip ahead about, 45 seconds. But a lot of people want to hear the story of how we met. And I don't know when we've talked about this, but I feel like we've talked about it. But I don't know if we
first episode.
First episode?
Was it?
Oh,
who we are, where we come from?
I don't know. Well, simple story.
Quick story.
Yeah.
It's very meat cute.
Meat? Like the mini cows?
Like
what is meat cute?
Serendipitous. Like
is that a term?
Meat cute? Yeah, I think that's a term. Like meaning like a
rom-com. Sounds trendy. I don't like trendy terms.
It's not. That's
very
not
meat cute.
No, I think that's
ugh.
I think that is a saying that's been around for a long time.
No,
that's
sounds
not like
trendy.
A Gen Z thing.
Sounds trendy.
No.
I hate trendy speech.
Okay, it was serendipitous. Is that okay?
It's a little older, yeah.
All right. We were both running for a door that was about to lock at Murray State University. We lived in the same dormitory.
Represent.
And we were going in the back door. If the door locked, you had to walk all the way around to the front door.
You're
your
telling
ID.
this story with such passion. It's hard to follow. I'm being sarcastic.
I said it.
It's very matter of fact. There's no passion in your
Okay, let me start out. It was a cold January day.
There you go.
Jason had
Until
just
the
spent
warmth
his
of
family gift card to Pizza Hut.
That was a good night.
He was parked at one end of the parking lot, and I was coming from the other
just
end.
tell it.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
So the door was about to lock. We both saw it as we were coming up, and we both took off running for it. Jason got there first because he has longer legs, and he opened it up.
You should just move your legs faster.
He said, "Welcome to Hart College," which is the name of the dorm that we lived in. And then he made a joke about my V8 Fusion juice that I was holding. He's like,
Not
is
crunchy.
that for your car? And I laughed.
V8, like an engine.
Yeah, I laughed.
Mm-hmm.
Upon reflection, lame.
Hey, I knew my audience.
And I said to my friend, like, he is really cute. I overheard him say to another friend that he was going to church on Wednesday at this certain student ministry. And so I was like, going to a student ministry. I like the sound of that. So I showed up at that thing on Wednesday and left a seat open. Wasn't going to do anything, not going to pursue, just leaving a seat open. He showed up, immediately made eye contact with me, came and sat by me, held hands while we prayed. The rest is history.
It snowed that night.
It did snow that night, and he walked me back to the door.
Mm-hmm.
Then I ran upstairs and took, 75 pictures of myself, trying to get the best picture to change my Facebook profile picture. because I had just dyed my hair
Mm.
and cut bangs. So I was worried you wouldn't recognize me in my old profile.
Who is this? Is this the same girl? I'm confused.
Like the teenage Emily is cringe. Sorry for using the
Cringe?
the trendy vocabulary.
It would just be cringy. It is cringy.
Oh, that's what I meant anyway.
Well,
Teenage Emily is cringy. And that's how we met.
Such a sweet story. Next question. Why do you live in Kentucky? No idea.
Don't really know. Well, we were raised here.
Yeah.
And my parents live here. And that's pretty much it.
And yeah.
We moved back to Paducah 7 years ago whenever I was pregnant with my first child. And we decided we wanted a support system. But now we've opened that Pandora's box of nomadic desire.
Yeah.
So,
That's not good. It's not good.
Kentucky is a beautiful place.
Oh, that's the politically correct answer. It's a nice place, especially Western Kentucky.
Here's the thing. Kentucky is affordable. Very affordable.
We live here because it's affordable.
I mean, that is a
State
true
slogan.
statement.
Kentucky, we're
It's
affordable.
affordable.
What was it when we went to Maine?
Yeah.
Okay, so
we went through New Hampshire, and their state slogan on the sign is like, live free or die.
Yeah.
Like,
pretty
totally epic.
Yeah.
And then you cross the border into Maine, and it's like, worth a visit.
Worth a visit.
But it does say worth a lifetime then.
Have you lost any friendships over really very crunchy? I've lost all my friendships because all my friendships were at work.
Oh.
And now I don't have work, and now I'm just friends with my wife and my 2 kids.
You know, really very crunchy has made my crunchiness very evident when before other people didn't necessarily know my views. One of the things, another question that I know we were asked was, what is the least crunchy thing you do? And it's probably that when we go somewhere and we're served something, we eat it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I'm not going to deny that. I think it's really important for me to have a community.
Your etiquette, for the most part, overrules your crunchy.
Yes.
Unless
it's like dyes or something like clearly that affects my children or affects me, then we just won't eat it. But we do our best to eat whatever is given to us. Well, now people are aware of my thoughts and even wrote a book about it. And so we'll go somewhere. Our neighbor invited us over for like a bonfire potluck. And they're like, I don't know if you'll eat anything here, which is sad, you know, like someone's thinking.
I raise my hand. I will.
That I feel like I'm too good for their food or something. And that's not it at all. I just choose to nourish my family in a different way at home on a regular basis.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think
Wait, I choose to nourish my family at home on a regular basis. As though
I said in a different way. Nourish my family in a different way. That's what I said.
I didn't hear that in a different way.
I said in a different way.
And so I choose to nourish my family.
I mean,
when I get
not talking about my neighbor's potluck necessarily, but
will you won't eat anything here? No, I'll just nourish them at home.
I said nourish them in a different way.
They can have all the food here, but I'll nourish them at home.
Nourish them in a different way.
Yeah, okay. Nourish them in a different way.
I think it's important that we don't proselytize our crunchiness to everyone, but I also think that we have to hold on to our convictions. It's like just this fine line. So yeah, it has hurt friendships. It's hurt some friendships.
Yeah.
And some people just don't feel as comfortable around me, I think. Or like, for example, forest friends. I do this forest friends. Not once have I associated it with crunchiness or said like you have to be a crunchy mom to join or anything like that. And I have seen on Paducah homeschooling groups when someone asked, is there a nature group in this area? Someone else commented, there's a group of crunchy moms who get together. And it's like, it has nothing to do with crunchiness. I would say actually most of the people aren't like trying to be crunchy moms. But just because I'm the leader of it, they're just like
the baton.
Crunchy mom.
If you want it to
It's
grow,
the crunchy mom group.
You got to pass the baton on to a silky mom.
So who's not joining because they think it's just a group of crunchy moms gallivanting through the forest because of my platform?
I have not lost any friends over my crunchiness.
You aren't crunchy.
I am, though.
You are a little.
That's kind of another question. How crunchy is Jason?
Well, guys don't care.
But I'm not.
Guys don't care what other guys do.
Listen.
That's the thing. Guys don't care. And if a guy is making a different choice than you, it doesn't bother you.
You know what gets me?
But moms feel vulnerable. Why is she choosing this? Why? Like, there's obviously a difference there.
Here's what I don't understand. Talk to me about inflammation. I don't understand what inflammation is. I could eat like complete garbage for months, and I feel the same as when I eat really good.
That's not true. Jason,
yeah, I mean, heartburn,
bloating.
Yeah, that goes away, but it's not.
No, you talk about heartburn for days. You're like in so much pain saying it's so miserable. And
it's usually from hot sauce, and I've taken that away.
That's not true. It's from pizza and whatever.
That's true. I guess.
You are. But
what's this? What's this inflammation?
Inflammation.
No, well, I'm thinking about my joints don't hurt.
My joints hurt when I eat too much sugar.
Oh, see, that's never happened to me.
I mean, like inflammation presents in a variety of ways, but inflammation is it's the root of disease. Like basically all disease comes from inflammation.
Interesting. I'm not crunchy. I just do whatever. I'm not against it.
Yeah.
I think that's the difference. In videos or whatever you see, I'm against all these things or what questioning.
You used to
I don't actually question stuff
you
that
did.
much. I don't really care enough to question it. I'm just
that's
just cool.
Going along with it. Yeah.
That's cool. I'm with you. I appreciate good quality.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times, like,
and you
home cooked good meal is a lot better than just some frozen thing you whip together. Like, I don't want the frozen dinners; they don't taste good.
Yeah, but you've also read some things on your own, and then you're like, "Why'd you make me read that?" Or like, you read my book.
Oh no, you've ruined everything.
And then you look into stuff further. And then you're like, why'd you ruin life for me, Emily?
Yeah, I know. It's like I used to like M&Ms. And now they're just dyes.
That's not even what I'm talking about. What am I talking about? We went to Great Wolf Lodge.
Yeah.
And you're just like, this is awful.
Yeah, I can't enjoy it.
We had to stop and buy bathing suits because it wasn't part of a plan.
I'm just shedding microplastics every time I go down the water slide. How much of that's going in my face?
You weren't thinking about the PFAS?
Oh, of course I was.
Yeah.
All of it. The chlorine. I'd rather be swimming in kids' pee.
When you weren't looking, I made a vitamin C and tallow mixture to rub all over the boys and myself so that we wouldn't absorb the chlorine. And
that's not
I didn't give it to you.
Really? Well, number one, it's not a thing. Number two, you didn't get me any?
No. I knew you wouldn't go for it. Well, it is a thing because I looked at my arm while we were in it and the water was just sitting on it like it wasn't.
I think that's any kind of oil.
Well, I did the vitamin C to negate the chlorine.
Nah.
Yeah.
Nah.
It's real.
That sounds a little pseudo to me.
Sounds sus.
Quote the kids these days.
Mm-hmm.
That's suspect. Why can't you just say suspect?
I like that.
Sus?
Sort of.
I don't. It sounds gross. Oh, that's sus.
Wait, it's supposed to be suspect? I always thought it was suspicious.
Suspicious, suspect, same thing.
Well, which is it?
They're the same thing.
Well, you wouldn't say that's suspect.
Of course you would.
Really?
Yes,
Not
that's suspect.
That's suspicious.
They both work. They're both sus. Do you want more kids? Hold on. Let's answer at the same time. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Yes!
Aww. Yeah.
But only if it's a girl.
And only if it's going to be a really happy, content baby. That's
only
easy.
If it's perfect in every way. No crying.
That's what our holdup is. It's so hard. Babies are so hard. At least our babies were hard. And so
no, another boy would be fine. By the way, I would like to get that out of the way.
Yeah,
girl would be great just because it'd be a new experience. Yada yada. I want a perfect baby.
It is so hard. I mean, that first year and a half of life is intense and it's fun and it's so precious. But both times it's been pretty intense for me. And so it's hard for me to just
not as intense,
run into it, just I'm ready to take on this extremely hard task.
I don't think dads get enough credit in the newborn phase.
Well, not all dads are as good as you, Jason.
Because it's tough on us too.
It's not nearly as tough. Just stop. No, stop looking for. No, you don't. No. Have your nipples ever bled?
Yes.
From
running.
Have they actually?
Chafed a little.
Did they bleed?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I did quit immediately as soon as it chafed a little too much.
Without blood.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that that's a normal thing that shouldn't be happening when you're nursing, but sometimes things do happen, especially when it's your first child and you're figuring everything out.
Sometimes things happen at a hard day at work at your office job. Sometimes the printer runs out of ink. Things are hard for men.
What about moms who have to have a newborn and go to the office and the printer runs out of ink?
What about dads who have to get up in the middle of the night to pee? Wrecks my whole night sometimes. Sometimes it takes me an extra 20 minutes to fall back asleep, so I can't. Sometimes I don't get my full 8 hours when we have a newborn.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes. And that's really annoying.
There were times that my biggest stretch was an hour, maybe even less.
All you do is complain.
No, I'm just saying it's hard. It's a hard time.
It is hard. With our last one, I was up half of it probably every morning at 4 just to try to help you.
Yeah, but you had that solid sleep before that.
Oh, no, I'm not complaining. I watched
I know that you were
movies.
very helpful, and I appreciate it, and it really did help. And I love that you were willing to do that. But it is just very intense for mothers.
You know the worst part about that?
The hormonal shifts.
No, that's not the worst part.
The bleeding.
That's not the worst part either. Can I tell you what the worst part of that is? Our chair was so uncomfortable, and it hurt my back.
We no longer have that chair.
Nope. That was a tough time for me. Somebody said, and I've got this one, please talk about periods. Okay. Here's what you need to know. Periods, they're the end. They're the end. They're not as intense as exclamation points. They're not as confusing as question marks. They are kind of a finality. I like ellipses because it kind of gives you an idea that there's something more. But yeah, period. It's just kind of the end of that's the end of the thought.
Gen Z thinks periods are aggressive.
Yeah. That's weird in text. Specifically, punctuation in general, but especially periods. It's too aggressive.
I'm pretty sure that's not what the asker meant, but we have male listeners, so I think I'll wait on that. I don't know.
We don't know. I think that could be a valid question. What do you think about that punctuation?
No, I don't think that's...
It's my favorite.
She didn't say, what do you think? She said, please talk about.
Oh, well, I did. I think we sufficiently covered periods. All right, moving on. How old are you?
36.
27. Robbing the cradle, Emily. I was in college early. When that story that you heard earlier, I was 12. I was one of those really brilliant kids.
37.
37.
But we'll be 38
and so therefore,
in January.
all the YouTube kids that follow us hear that and they're like, oh,
gross.
unfollow. Here's a funny one. When did you first realize you were funny? I was 7 years old.
Really?
And I told a joke. I did an Ernest P. Worrell impression to my grandparents.
Oh, really?
I thought it was the funniest thing ever. No, I never.
You were a class clown. You always like acted out, and so you got attention, and through that, you thought you were funny.
No, I don't think I've never just sat and thought I was funny.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Don't even. Yes, you do.
No.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't think I'm funny.
You're lying. You're lying.
Don't sit here and just think I'm funny. No.
You like come home from work and you're like, oh, I said the funniest thing today. And then you tell me the story. And
well, I never just, there wasn't a moment where like, oh, I'm funny. It's just like.
Pretty much for you. I bet there was. That feels right.
Tell me your funny moment. Well.
For me, it was just you saying, I think you're funny.
Oh,
I
you're
think
funny.
like my whole life I've been dry and people don't know when I'm joking, and then like I don't allow time for a joke to happen. I just like
move on.
Yeah.
And you make it really awkward for people.
I'm also, I'm a very visually sort of comedic person because I'm awkward and I'm aware of my awkwardness, I guess, but I'm just like a little jittery, a little Kramery, you know.
How often are you actually barefoot?
Most of the time.
Fun fact, so am I.
Mm-hmm.
But so are the kids. Mostly because we're at home.
Barefoot. We're at home?
I don't wear
Barefoot.
shoes at home.
No, and if you're going outside, you wouldn't wear shoes in your own yard.
I don't. I think people do. I don't typically wear, I mean, unless it's really cold.
Yeah.
If it's really cold, I will.
I'll pull on shoes if we're going on a walk. Sometimes I've gone barefoot.
I've gone like basically a week without shoes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
we'll put on shoes if we're going somewhere, but then half the time, like if we're somewhere where I'm not worried about the floor being absolutely disgusting, I take off my shoes sometimes.
Not in
like
a store.
No. Or a restaurant or something. I'm always wearing shoes.
Barefoot shoes.
They are barefoot shoes. But
I even wear barefoot shoes sometimes.
But like
sometimes
I pull off my shoes first thing when I go in someone's house.
They're wearing shoes. Like they're in their own house.
Weird
wearing
is when
shoes.
someone's wearing shoes in their own house.
And you're
And I cannot
barefoot.
bring myself to wear shoes in their house.
Yeah. Do you think that offends them?
No. But I don't make
or
a
if they're
scene
like,
of it. I just
put
immediately
your shoes on. Gross. Why are you barefoot in my house?
Maybe.
You never know. People are like, people just wear shoes.
How can you wear shoes in your house?
I mean, the only time I can understand it is like, I forgot my wallet and I'm looking for my wallet because I gotta go. But like other than that, it's like I don't just like I don't come downstairs and put on my shoes in the morning, make coffee, put on my shoes.
Well, people are wearing slippers.
I don't even like slippers.
I know.
It's like,
But no, I'm thinking when they come home, like they just ran errands and they came home and they walk in the door and they just keep their shoes on and don't think anything about it. They just wear their shoes.
My feet get hot.
I don't get it. Why would you want shoes on your feet?
Normies.
How many people are doing that? Are lots of people doing that?
I would say all of them.
What really tickles me is when someone knows about my shoe thing in my house and they come in and they're like, sorry, I'm not taking off my shoes, or I feel bad, I'm not taking off my shoes. And then they just wear their shoes. It's like clearly really important to me. I want to get a sign for my door, and I probably already said this, but leave your shoes and your worries at the door.
Oh, yeah.
Or leave your worries and your shoes at the door. Yeah. It should be worries first.
Or no shoes, no problem. Shoes, big problem.
I have a friend who will say something. Like, I let people just walk in. I'm not going to be like a shoe Nazi.
Mm-hmm.
But she's like, go ahead and take your shoes off.
Yeah. What do your kids think about your new career?
Sometimes they like it. I think they like being involved, and I think they think it's funny. They
love watching the videos.
They love watching the videos.
You know why? It's like the only screen time they get. Our 30-second video 3 times a week. Like, ooh, we want to watch a video. Can we watch more Crunchy Mom videos? Like, well,
I'll be like, can we watch
you're
it
just
again?
stroking our ego
watch
so
it
they can
again?
watch some videos. Like, well, of course you could watch our video again. Here, watch them all.
No.
No.
Yeah, so I think they like it and they think it's cool, but sometimes they don't quite get it because it seems like we're just having fun. And then it's like, no, guys, we have to work. But then they think it's weird when people recognize me, I think. But they like it sometimes.
Yeah, I think it's a little unnerving, a little strange how much you were recognized at Great Wolf Lodge.
It was a lot.
It was kind of weird.
It was sweet. People were really kind. I met a really sweet girl named Heather.
Uh-huh.
She was so kind and just like radiated joy.
Everybody we met was extremely nice. I just thought that was a very strange setting for you to be recognized
homeschool days.
every minute.
Homeschool days, Jason.
Oh.
So there were a lot of homeschoolers.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
it
we're
kinda
the
makes
only thing
sense.
they're allowed to watch on screen time as well, too. Apparently.
The parents.
Yeah. I will allow myself one really very crunchy video a day.
But I mean, a lot of kids recognized me too. People were getting their picture with me.
You're like, couldn't this have been at like a farm?
I know.
Or something?
It felt wrong. It felt like, why am I here? What am I doing here? I did feel that anyway, but also we had fun.
All right. Well, I mean, there are other questions.
Wait, let's run through them really quick. Let's do like a death round. 10
lightning round? Death round? If we don't get through it in 30 seconds, we die.
What's a lightning round?
Fast. Lightning's fast.
Like it'll strike you if you don't answer fast enough.
That would be the death round.
Okay.
All right. What is something you and Jason bend for your crunchy rules for?
We sometimes buy American cheese. It's organic American cheese. But when we feel like splurging and we want to be a little fancy with our homemade sourdough, we put a little slice of organic American cheese.
All
I
right.
feel like that's definitely bending crunchiness.
Okay. I'm trying to get Emily to watch The Rings of Power with me. I mean, it's a TV show. And
That's bending the crunchiness?
It's on Prime.
Oh. Yeah, we have Amazon. I mean, okay, if you live in rural America, you have to have Amazon.
Yeah,
You can't just go to the store and buy unbleached parchment paper.
It's true.
Like,
Okay. What is your favorite and least favorite trip you've ever been on? I feel like I have to read these really
yeah,
fast.
you
'cause
do.
of
That's part of the death round.
lightning round.
I thought we were going with death
Oh,
round.
death round. Okay.
Okay. Favorite and least favorite trip we've ever been on?
Yeah.
Least favorite trip was Yosemite.
Oh,
Not Yosemite.
no, not Yosemite. Just a trip out west. Bryce Canyon National
No.
Park, because
No.
you were having a
No.
psychotic
I don't
meltdown.
remember that. You were so rude. It was not a psychotic meltdown. It was an anxiety attack in
take
Bryce Canyon. You can leave it in, Jason. It was an anxiety attack and it was horrible. But that didn't make it my least favorite trip.
Made it mine.
What's it, Yosemite? What has the geyser?
Oh, no, that's
Yellowstone.
Yellowstone.
Um,
Oh, gosh.
why
Sorry.
can't I remember anything? I need to take some supplements for my brain. Yellowstone, because our tent flooded. It was horrible.
Uh-huh.
And Jason, who doesn't experience inflammation from junk food,
It was bad ramen, okay?
something was not right.
The air expelled within the tent
It was
from me.
horrid. I mean, I was dry heaving.
I mean, I even gagged.
but it was pouring rain so
And a
hard.
bison was sitting right. Do you think I attracted the bison? It was sitting right next to our tent. We thought it was going to plop down on us.
But we couldn't vent the tent because it was raining so hard.
Yeah.
And it flooded.
And a bison was
And-
sitting there smelling my stink.
So bad. That was my least favorite trip. Like, I'm laughing hard now. It was not good.
Uh-huh.
Favorite trip? Probably the Redwoods.
Love the Redwoods. I also loved the Celadon Festival in
Oh, yeah. That
South
was really
Korea.
sweet. Yeah.
That was really fun.
That was cool.
I forgot what city that was in. Something.
Damyang.
Maybe.
No.
No, that was the bamboo forest. It was okay. All right. Top 5 places you visited in the United States. We don't have to do that. We already just sort of said it. Redwoods, New Hampshire, whatever.
I'm sure.
Lancaster.
Whatever. No.
Worth a visit.
Wait. That Torch Lake in Michigan was really cool.
Ooh, Torch Lake is really
beautiful.
cool. Crater Lake is really cool.
Crater Lake.
Redwoods is really cool.
Yeah.
And that's not counting like cities. Those are like just natural places. If you're wanting to talk cities, there's, all kinds of really cool places.
Boston was
Boston.
a super cool place.
Yeah. Philadelphia
I
is
liked
cool.
it. Yeah.
Well, a lot of the Northeast places.
Just go to the Northeast without a plan and you can't go wrong.
Yeah, pretty much. There's a lot to see. Do you plan to do interviews for your podcast?
Yeah.
Yeah, sometime.
Sometime.
If they can handle the J. What is your best thrift find?
I have this beautiful painting that's on our fireplace, like on the mantle. It is probably from the 1800s, like looking at the canvas, how it's attached. It's from nails, and the nails look really old. Anyway, gorgeous oil painting, large, beautiful frame.
This is a
heavy.
death round, Emily. Come on.
$1. $1
Wow.
for it. That's an amazing thrift find. $1.
Mine was a J. Crew shirt.
It's probably still $6.
Yeah, it's like $6, and I still wear it. Probably.
Did I buy it for you?
I don't know.
Probably.
I
You're
thrift.
not often thrifting yourself.
I don't
clothes.
thrift.
No.
I don't thrift. I like to
just
buy
do.
all my things new.
I thrift for you,
Yeah.
but you do go buy yourself new things as well.
And I wear them for like 10 years.
But I thrift for you.
My
and I
fashion
try.
is not fast fashion. My fashion is I buy it and I wear it until all the buttons are falling off and there's holes all in it.
I fix buttons for you.
Yeah. Yeah. I actually still have a shirt that's new from like 10 years ago that is missing a button. It's missing a button from like the first time I had it. And I've only worn it once because I'm a little bit too big for it. And it's missing a button.
We have a story about Jason wearing clothes that were too small for him. Did we already talk about
We have not talked about this.
that?
We'll talk about it again, though.
Okay. Do we not want to go there?
Yeah, go for it.
Oh, my aunt was getting married, and we were camp counselors at Spring Hill Camps. And so we weren't making a lot of money. We didn't have nice clothes because we were camp counselors. But my aunt invited us to her wedding. I guess I probably knew about it ahead of time. Anyway,
I had zero nice clothes.
Jason didn't have anything.
At
So
the end of this story, I still had zero
for
nice
some
clothes.
reason, we decided to go to her wedding, and we thought we would just go to American Eagle and buy some stuff off clearance because we didn't have enough money.
Didn't think about Walmart. Didn't
Or
think about
JCPenney,
Goodwill.
anywhere
Anywhere
like,
other than
stuck
American Eagle.
to maybe we were just like in a hurry. I don't remember. Jason bought clothes that were 2 sizes too small.
Okay, a medium at American Eagle is not the same as a medium in Izod, okay? It's just not the same.
It was awful. I mean, you were wearing this polo that was too short, too tight.
And I'm not ripped. I know it may look like it. I know I may look a little ripped, but I'm not ripped. And when you wear a shirt that tight and you're not ripped, it just doesn't look great. It's not the best.
So people call that dad bod.
You don't want a dad bod at 21.
So you were wearing these clothes, the pants. They were too short.
They're too short.
What are flip flops?
I bought flip flops.
I don't understand.
They didn't have shoes at American Eagle, and I wasn't gonna pay top dollar at the shoe store.
It was awful.
I didn't have a credit card.
You looked ridiculous.
And my hair was really shaggy.
We knew it. We knew you looked ridiculous. Anyway.
It looked like I was trying to be an American Eagle model with a 21-year-old dad bod. So I don't really. It was a great first impression for half of your family. I go up to your brother and your cousins and you say, "Hey, this is my boyfriend Jason," and they laugh. Yeah, he's gonna last. That was great. Okay, cool.
My family has not been very warm to you, my extended family.
Yeah.
Anyway,
showed your grandpa our engagement ring. He first words he ever said to me, "Well, that looks like it came out of a goat's." Well, he said
another word for butt.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Thanks, Grandpa. Well, thanks for welcoming me into the family. Bring our son over to your uncle. Well, there's something wrong with him. Thanks, Uncle.
He said, no, my aunt was like, your milk ain't enough for him, honey. Because he was such a skinny little baby.
That boy ain't built right.
That was hilarious. And then I felt that at Great Wolf Lodge because I just bought a bathing suit from Goodwill and my shorts were too small. My shorts were too small. They were just, I don't know. They were the size that I normally wear and I didn't try them on and they were too small. Just felt awkward and it just reminded me of your American Eagle days. Okay, lightning round. Last one.
What's the crunchiest thing you've ever done?
Well, truly, I think the crunchiest thing that I do is that I cook from scratch all the time. That takes up so much time.
Boring.
But it's the daily decisions that you make for your family.
What's the crunchiest thing you've ever done?
Really, it's just all the thought I put into caring for my children, and that's I just love.
Crunchiness isn't necessarily making those big decisions.
Boring.
It's the small decisions that you make on a daily basis. That's how you're the crunchiest.
You just said that.
Well, I'm just reiterating it to you.
No, let's hear the crunchiest thing you've ever done.
I don't know. I can't think. I've done some weird things. I'm trying to think. So before, okay, no, well, this is sort of talking about periods, and I thought we weren't going to talk about that, but I cut up a cashmere sweater to use as pads, and so I had cashmere pads. That is so comfortable.
That's not crunchy.
Highly recommend.
That's swanky. That's luxury right there. I'm so rich. I have cashmere pads.
Works great. Feels good.
Wow.
I don't know. It's just like funny little things happen all the time. Like I told this already, but it wasn't crunchy that I was letting my kids, that I was looking at this to see if my kids would have it. But my friend was at the park. She got her kids something from an ice cream truck. And I'm like digging through the trash to find her trash to see if it would be appropriate for my children to eat it. And then I like realize that I'm digging through the trash. And that's awkward.
Then you realize that, wow, I'm digging through the trash. I should just say no.
Yeah.
If I have to go check the
Yeah.
ingredients of something that I'm digging in the trash for, I should just say no.
Yeah. But, yeah, so
that was your silkiest, crunchiest moment.
yeah, my silkiest crunchy moment.
Yeah.
I was going to my voice lesson and I noticed that I needed a little bit of freshening up.
Mm-hmm.
And
Didn't have any
limes weren't
limes on
cutting
you?
it.
Oh.
And so I just reached in the cabinet and grabbed some black drawing salve. And because it smells good and it's good for your skin. And I was just thinking, like in my voice lesson, she wouldn't notice if I had black armpits because I'm just standing there singing. Well, I get there and like the first thing she does is say, and now we're going to stretch, lift one arm over your head and lean. And then there's like the smear of black under my armpit, which is, that's kind of awkward, kind of crunchy, awkward, funny, crunchy. That's not the crunchiest thing I've ever done, though.
Those were the questions.
That was fun.
There were some more, some getting a little too personal, in my opinion. That was fun. And if you want more of that, ask us better questions.
What?
More questions. Different questions.
Those are great questions.
They were great questions. We just need different ones if we're ever going to do it again. And I don't know if you can get much more different than that. They're pretty basic questions.
I think we're going to have to start asking other people questions, like in interviews, having someone on.
Yeah. Do we get to maintain, the question came, are you planning to have guests? Well, do I get to be confusing?
Yes,
Do I get to keep this banter going?
You should.
You have this doctor come on. They have no idea what they're walking into. And I'm just like, I'm unfollowing you, doctor. And
yeah, you should.
What in the world is going on?
I think that would be hilarious. So
we'll never get a guest.
Well, it's
who
not
wants to be a guest? Should we do random interviews?
See,
we want
I've thought about that.
Our post office ladies.
I have thought about that. Would you come on my podcast? Just Mr. Z.
What are the secrets?
Like my neighbor. My neighbor's a professional clown.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't we have him on our podcast?
We should.
Yeah. Super interesting person.
We got to figure out a podcast room because this is a tiny room and we can't fit any more people in here.
He can have my chair. I'll stand.
Stand?
I'll just stand in the corner.
Got to get another camera too.
We
interview a professional clown.
I think we'll do other interviews. But the thing is, everybody's already interviewing all the people that they want to know, right? So why not interview real people? I mean, other people are real people. You know what I'm trying to say.
Tom Cruise is not a real person.
I'm reading the book, The Anxious Generation. And I'd kind of like to talk to that guy who wrote it. So maybe we could reach out to him.
Or we could talk to his family and be like, is this guy legit? Yeah. Tell us about this. We only get get
spouses.
Spouses. Yeah, the spouses of famous people.
Mm-hmm. That's actually a good idea.
I don't think they'd go for it.
Really?
Today we have George Clooney's wife.
Yeah, because because we're spouses.
Yeah.
And it's something spousal. I like this idea.
We're going to shelve this idea.
I like it.
Yeah. Well.
Next week, expect George Clooney's wife. I don't even know who it is.
Josh, get ready. We're going to have 1,000 hours outside on our podcast, and you're going to be our first guest. Not Jenny.
Josh.
I
think this is a cool idea.
Yeah? Dave Ramsey's wife. I like this idea.
Thanks. I knew I could sell you on it. Thank you for listening to the Really Very Crunchy podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure you leave a review, leave a comment, like.
Emily will be speaking at the Cultivate Homestead Retreat Saturday.
You can still buy tickets.
Really?
I think.
Well, there's a link.
Maybe not.
You can check it out. I don't know how many tickets are left, but she'll be there.
Yep, it's going to be a fun time.
Links in the description. Thank you for listening, everyone.
Yep, see you next time.
Bye.